Hello, everybody. Crypto time. So let's just jump right into it today. I want to talk about Ondo. Haven't talked about it specifically in a little while. I tend to throw it out there a lot in my videos. I name drop or crypto drop all the time between Ondo, HBAR, ASM, Hashflow, Render, Quant. Most of those I own. Hashflow, I don't currently. I traded that one out to put into Ondo actually when I de-risked. And now that is looking more and more juicy by the day. I've shared a couple of times what my strategy is right now because we really don't have a effing clue what's going on with crypto other than we just know it's going down. But there's still ways to make money in this market, right? And find the method that works for you. Sometimes just hodling is the method. Again, the only way you lose money in the space is by selling at the wrong time. The only way by making money is by selling at the right time or just sometime that's not bad. And I can tell by the charts, by the prices, by the news, by everything, that statistically speaking, you guys are selling. Or more so, if you're actually watching crypto YouTube right now, at least within a couple of days of being released, you're less likely to be the people that I'm talking about with selling. But kudos to holding in there. Pack your bags, hold your bags. Altcoin season's coming. But let's talk a little bit about Ondo specifically today. So I've mentioned Ondo a couple of times on this channel. It is the big things that pulled me into it initially was the fact that it was supported by BlackRock. It's in tokenization and real world assets, which is an incredibly hot narrative right now. And I know, again, the charts. I get it, guys. But look at what has pumped up so far during the bull run. It's been RWAs, it's been memes, and occasionally we can say a little bit of AI thrown in there. AI agents had their own little tidbit that went up a little bit. But that's kind of how I got in here. Between BlackRock and it's the right narrative, that was all I needed to dive in further, going through the research of seeing if it's worthwhile me jumping in. I did initially around $1.24, DCA'd around like $1.18. Today, or recently with all the dips, I think it was down at 96 cents or so. We'll take a look at the charts in a little bit. There's some news about it. I don't want to just go ahead and reiterate everything I've said before. Thankfully, there is a few new things. But let's reiterate a few things, right? So the whole concept of everyone's worried about the bull run. Guys, it's supposed to feel like this. If you didn't know this, then you probably weren't here last cycle. If you were here last cycle, don't you remember this? It does suck. Don't get me wrong. I'm not jumping and clicking that buy button anymore, right? Like I've bought plenty of dips for crying out loud, but you're not going to see me touch that sell button. Maybe a few trades here and there. So I think I'm done doing that. But Honda's one that I've actually traded into when I de-risked, moved some of my smaller caps into that one. And I might DC into this one a little bit again, but I'm confident it's going to go in the correct direction before too long. They're constantly busy and there's huge names behind them. Not like BlackRock isn't large enough, but then you have World Liberty Financial, which it's easiest just to say it's the Trump's company. I understand technicalities and whatnot, but it's the easiest to show. And they've been working directly with and financing behind and using, which is a big deal. The fact that Ondo alone is a US crypto, I don't feel like enough people are mentioning this. Maybe it's because it was all speculation weeks back, probably months at this point, where President Trump said he's going to try to make all crypto that are US based, crypto, Bitcoin crypto, is going to be 0% tax. No capital gains, which would be freaking awesome. But they haven't really reiterated that too many times. I would love uh, the Don just to come out and say, guys, by the way, crypto still aiming for 0% and just name a couple. I don't even care if he names the right ones. He can pick random crypto. That would be good. It's bringing back up information that we already forgot because we have massive short-term memory issues here in the crypto space. This is Ondo's first bull run, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, but statistically speaking, crypto more likely do well their first bull run. It's new, it's shining, let alone it's the right narrative with the right backing behind it. But there's a couple things that came out. The big one, or at least what I think is the big one, again, this is much more for future profits, but it's not that long. And all it takes is handshakes and organizations to jump in for prices to go up. And the news is that Ondo officially has their block one chain coming out. And okay, there's plenty of layer ones, right? But there is, don't get me wrong. But Ondo's layer one is being used specifically for institutions to tokenize. And that's what it's for. It's for institutions to come and tokenize everything, tokenize stocks, tokenize bonds, tokenize gold, tokenize your underwear. It doesn't really effing matter. They're going to tokenize everything they possibly can on Ondo. And I think that's awesome. Let alone the fact that they partnership up with XRP Ripple. Ondo's going places, like almost all of our crypto, but some of them is a little easier to see, a little easier to hold on to, keep the conviction onto it. So just mentioning how it's not a small market cap, but when I actually look, we are down quite a bit. Is this the last week chart? I have it by market cap, not by price. But so in the last week, time of recording right now is the 25th of February. And on the 21st, right, it was $1 billion more in market cap. You mother effers, again, not you, get it, but you mother effers are selling the crap out of this, bringing it down, which is just going to get what's industry going to do, what are the whales going to do, what am I going to try to do in small little pieces, is buy what you guys are selling at a cheaper price. And then a lot of retail is going to eat back in and fuel our bags. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. Put in the comments below how you don't believe me. We'll screenshot this for down the road. I got no fears on it. But if we go ahead and let's look at price action. Yeah, last 7 days. Yeah, I usually like looking at the month, but the last couple of days when everything got slammed, went down, we had a little bit of faith, and then everyone said, no, jump and ship. So we look at the month chart. I don't know, almost doesn't make it look as bad. It's been stabilizing, but we haven't really been under that dollar mark until now. Although this dip didn't even go down there. Got close. But now we're under the dollar mark. I'm kind of surprised that the resistance line didn't hit there. I thought it would. It's always around the 5s and the 10s, right? So 50 cents, 10 cents, $1, $10. That's always the line where it's difficult. I mean, this is close enough to that dollar mark. It's going to take likely a big event or a large group of people to go ahead and buy to raise this back up and surpass the dollar mark. But it's a large cap. They tend to come back a lot faster. And I'm going to, for today, I'll say anything large cap I'm referring to as $1 billion or more. We can argue that down the road, but for today's purpose, I consider this a larger cap. And I don't expect it to be under $1 for too much longer. However, of course, there's always the possibility that we're going to bleed more in crypto. It's certainly possible. It's really all just dictated based off of everyone else in the market, right? So Ondo's setting itself up well to be one of the largest tokenizers in real world assets. Yes, it's going to be competing against HBAR, and I don't mind because I'm in both of them relatively well. But this is one that I think is going to last for a long time, even if it's just because of the backing and the size of the projects and plans they have in mind are phenomenal. Again, they want to go ahead and try to eventually tokenize the stock market, and I'm so pumped just to see that start to happen. I don't know, I can't get over that as a thing for me. We don't have to worry about too many unlocks until I believe it's March when there's going to be a massive unlock, but we should be completely out of it by then, and that might be a good time in the bear market to scoop back up and get back into it. That was even quicker of a video than I planned on doing it. That just opened me up to stall for a couple more seconds. But I just want to reiterate a little bit because I see on Twitter, I see on Reddit, I see in comments, my videos and everyone else's, and the lack of views. That's another thing that's been very obvious is just the amount of views coming down, which really just tells me the sentiment of the market, where I understand, but I don't understand, right? If you have spent, maybe the next couple of things that I'm going to say is that if maybe that's what's non-conclusive here, and maybe that's where there's a little bit of disconnect. But if you're not over leveraged, I mean that in terms of over leveraging, of not paying more, putting more into the market than you can afford to lose, by not doing stupid leverage plays. Because if we go ahead and we can pull up charts to show the short and the long-term leverages that people are doing, getting racked, specifically on, I believe it was the long recently. Right? People are just throwing away their money and then they're leaving. Even meme coins haven't really came back up yet. There's no way that I'm going to get out of the market. I'm not going to sell until I hit my prices. And even if I'm dead ass wrong and that this is actually the bear market, which I don't at all buy for one moment, but there's always a chance that we're wrong, right? Then when I'm convinced, I'll just switch my strategy into what I already have planned for the bear market. And you guys don't have to have things planned that far in advance. I don't see why you shouldn't, but you certainly don't need to. But have plans of what you're doing. Know what your strategies are. Don't just try to fly off the seat of your pants. You're going to be in that 99% or 90% or whatever we're calling today that fails in crypto. But like, I got my game plan. I've been pretty direct and upfront with you guys about it. I'm overall a hodler. Right now, I've switched to buying much more of the larger market caps and keeping in like the top 50 or so crypto, just due to safety because things are going down. And if they continue to go down, like Bitcoin crosses in the 70,000, we might have a few of the microcaps disappear, right? We might start destroying or having a mini extinction event in that kind of case because people are going to panic and sell the small ones first. That's the way it works. So I'm keeping into the large caps, the hedges, specifically right now, Solana and Litecoin, because I think Solana is going to be one of the first ones to bounce back up. I got a decent amount of confidence in that one. And then Litecoin, because they seem to be ones that are most likely going to get an ETF in the next couple of months. And I'd love to ride that up a little bit just to get some, hopefully, short, easy money to put back into the market on the smaller cryptos again, or whatever hasn't launched up yet. So I recommend you guys have whatever your strategy is. If you have a strategy like that in mind, know what those crypto are going to be. Like for mine, they're all on my watch list. They're ones that I already own as we'll call it mid cap-ish ones. I'm always looking at HBAR. I'm always looking at Render. I'm always looking at Aerodrome Finance. And the small ones that have the potential to still 15 to 20x or possibly 25 to 30, depending on how much further they go, is Hashflow HFT and Assemble AI at ASM. They're lesser known, lesser talked about, great opportunities to explode. And that's where I'm putting my money. If I ever get convinced or when I get convinced we're in a bear market, which I think is going to be at either during summer or the end of Q4, we'll see which one, then my strategy is going to switch. I'm going to start looking to see what crypto that I wanted to pick up the lowest fucking prices possible. When they drop by about 80%, that's when I'm going to start putting them in. And I already kind of have a list of the ones that I'm looking at. I want to start doing farming specifically for Aerodrome. Yes, because I know that thing is incredibly inflationary. But if you can get free crypto from it over a 1 to 2 year period during the bear market, why wouldn't you? It's just printing off free money at this case. I might do that or liquidity pools with some of the stable coins. But have a strategy, have it in mind, and don't just go with, I'm going to make a lot of money, because that's not a strategy. That's not a goal. Right? So there's your not financial advice thoughts for the day. But if you've been here for this long one, thank you. I do appreciate it. Comment below, honestly, anything, but specifically from this one. Do you guys own Ondo? Do you guys have any tokenizations against it? What do you feel about the market and genuinely right now? Like, how are your bags doing? Like, I am down about a little over 50% from where we were in November. I'm still up overall because I got in low enough, but not all my coins are up. I've definitely got some complete red. Render is one of them. So let me know how you guys are doing, both how's your bags looking and how are we mentally doing up here, guys? Because that's the big difference that's going to lead us from having absolutely no money, having the thought of, I just want to get back to even, I'm going to leave because it's a scam, to let's fucking ride this bitch, guys, and make some money. You guys know where I'm at. I'll be here. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.